I am very proud of my family.
Family is incredibly important to us. Family is capital letters for all of us.
Hi everyone, my name's Noah O'Neill. This is my wife Ashley. I'm Josh's younger brother. We're 3 years apart, and I live in Chicago, Illinois, with 3 young kids ranging from 1 to 8 years old. And Josh and I grew up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, had a great upbringing, very supportive parents and family, and obviously, as evidenced by tonight in honoring my parents, they've done so much for my brother's development and growth, along with others, across the world for Down syndrome. And the National Down Syndrome Society has become and always will be an important part of their lives.
My name is Betsy Goodwin. This is my daughter Carson and my husband Bart. The Goodwin family is delighted to participate in honoring Tom and Rita O'Neill. No family has been more devoted to ensuring that people with Down syndrome have opportunities for a meaningful and quality life. I met Tom 42 years ago at a Down syndrome conference. Our daughter, Carson, had just been born that year, and I had not gotten over an unpleasant hospital experience, receiving negative advice, antiquated information, and no support on dealing with an infant with Down syndrome. Rita and Tom have not only followed the strides of their son Josh, but they have also worked to encourage other families to advocate for greater educational opportunities for their inclusion in schools and other activities. Rita, Tom, Josh, Noah, and Ashley, we congratulate you on being honored by NDSS, and we thank you all for what you've done and continue to do for people with Down syndrome and their families.
My relationship with the O'Neills goes way back, almost a half a century. My son Jason was born with Down syndrome 46 years ago, and I'm so happy to be able to celebrate all of the wonderful, enormous contributions that they have made to the world and to the world of understanding more about people with Down syndrome, and especially since they've been all these years such wonderful, supportive, and close friends. I love you guys very much and always will. And congratulations on this lovely occasion. You deserve so much recognition. I'm happy to be here and I love you.
I met Tom when I interviewed with him for my current role at Dasani. That was a 3-hour interview. But from that interview, I came away knowing that I had just met one of the kindest, wisest, smartest people on earth. Not to mention a great advocate for our Down syndrome community who had such a passion for advocacy and inclusion for all. I then met Rita a couple months later at a Dasani family event. Tom and Rita do so much for the Down syndrome community, both locally and on a national level. They are tremendous ambassadors to NDSS for all families as well.
When I used to speak with new parents who had just had a baby with Down syndrome, and of course the fear was there, what kind of life will this child have? How will this affect our family? And I used to tell them, you will raise this child the same way you raise your other children. You'll just make adjustments as needed. And whatever your family's interest is, and whatever you do, this child will do too.
One of the things I think that was really important, and that was that Josh went to our neighborhood school. He didn't go in the little yellow bus that said special bus or special education bus. He went to school with the other kids. And he was on the bus with his brother. They were 2.5 years apart in age, but they're a grade apart in school, or they were a grade apart in school. But that helped normalize things with him. So Noah's friends saw Josh as one of the other kids who happened to be out there tossing the ball or catching the ball or getting kicked or whatever was happened to be going on.
I think that if you look back historically at all major programs for children with disabilities, educational, advocacy, organizational, you'll find that they are all started by parents. And they are started because the need was there, and it's like any parent with a child, if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. When Josh was 2 years old, we started a preschool, a private preschool locally that grew and grew and grew and lasted for 25 years because there was no education for him unless we did it. And that's how NDSS and so many organizations began, and why we became involved and others too.
You don't become involved with the Down syndrome community. The Down syndrome community becomes involved with you. And when you have a child with Down syndrome, I think you can try and walk away from the Down syndrome community, or you can embrace it. And I think both Rita and I are organization people, so the idea of being part of that community was important for us to be able to put our thoughts out there and to lend whatever knowledge and skill we could to the Down syndrome movement, Down syndrome community. Well, Josh was born in 1978, and in the 1980s, I became very involved nationally with the Down syndrome community. Served on the board of the National Down Syndrome Congress from 1980 till 1989. Chaired that board for 3 years and rotated off. 1990s came along, and I'd gotten to know Betsy and Bart and her family and some others who were involved with the NDSS, and it was just kind of a natural click to move in that direction with them. They were doing things, they were making some things happen, and I wanted to be in a place where life was being shaken up a little bit, and we were looking at the trajectory in a different kind of way maybe than we had before. And I think if you don't have that awareness, or if you don't have that touch with people with disabilities, there's fear that's there, that they're somehow very different from you. And as you meet them, you find out that they're human beings like you. They have the same needs, wants, desires, passions, and it's a matter of just giving that voice a place to rest.
In 2005, the O'Neills established the O'Neill Tabani Enrichment Fund. They were joined by C. Sean Tabani, a neighbor and good friend to Josh and Noah. This fund, which is very active today, provides funding to selected applicants to enable them to discover advanced education, train for a job, or pursue a lifelong dream, such as becoming a chef, a photographer, or an artist.
When I think about post-secondary education, I think about how proud Josh is of his successes stemming from the program that he attended as a young adult. I love listening to him talk about how his brother stayed in-state for college, but he went all the way to the East Coast. So it makes me very proud to be associated with the O'Neill Tabani Enrichment Fund and know that the scholarships that the fund gives out are enabling other young adults to have that same sense of ownership and pride around their education that Josh does.
The endowment of the O'Neill Tabani Enrichment Fund sends a strong signal that the O'Neills feel passionately not only about the work that NDSS does, but also that they want to offer scholarship opportunities to other self-advocates throughout the country so that they can achieve their dreams, just as Joshua did many years ago.
We were doing some supporting ourselves, financial supporting for the NDSS at that time. And a friend of Noah's who had gone to NDSS events with us over the years wanted to do something financially supportive of the organization and the movement. And we came up with this enrichment fund. And it's called an enrichment fund and not a scholarship fund. It's a really important difference. A scholarship fund to us connoted more academics, and some people choose an academic route that apply to the fund for money, and others just do something to enrich their lives, to make lives more meaningful and significant for themselves.
I received the O'Neill Tabani Enrichment Fund to further my post-secondary education. I have been attending Onondaga Community College in Syracuse, New York for about 11 years. I am now 4 classes away from obtaining my goal of receiving my degree.
Because of this scholarship, I gained independence with my schooling and cooking skills. I brought books to practice learning skills at home. Thank you for the opportunity to be a scholarship winner.
Tonight, I want to dance. I want to dance with you.
I wanted to say thank you for the O'Neill family who supported me when I went to Saginaw Valley State University. While I was there, I got to take classes, be in the marching band, work on campus, and live in the dorm room.
Yeah, I'm attending Syracuse University through Inclusive U. I'm taking a bunch of courses in music education, and I'm also attending events and clubs at Syracuse.
My 3 years at ESU taught me many valuable lessons and gave me lasting friendships and great memories.
Thanks to Tom and his wife, you continue to help so many kids. I am now living with my husband, working on getting a job. I love my life.
I was so honored to have been awarded an O'Neill Tabani Investment Fund scholarship. My studies align so well with my job as the Community Outreach Associate at the National Down Syndrome Society. Thank you so very much.
This scholarship allowed me to enroll at same as you in Noblesville, Indiana. I have always wanted to attend college. I can feel myself growing and I love it. I have a motto in life. Live, give, earn, and learn. This scholarship has helped me live my motto. Thank you.